In the movie The Hunger Games, 24 kids are put into an arena and only one comes out alive. The movie focuses in District 12 on Katniss Everdeen. Her younger sister Prim's name got drawn during the drawing to be put into the games, and Katniss, wanting to protect her sister, volunteered to take her place. Throughout the movie, it focuses on her experience in the games. The functionalism in this movie is quite different than our society. To start off, they have districts instead of states. There's 12 districts, and District 1 is the richest, all the way down to District 12, which is the poorest. Unlike in our society, we have 50 states, and all of the states are pretty equal. They put their kids into an arena to help, and they have to kill each other off every year. Every year, they cause 23 deaths of 12 to 18-year-olds, which in our society is very illegal. And even just killing one person gets you in jail. This is their way of stopping overpopulation, and in our society, we don't really have anything that stops that. The conflict theory in this movie is mainly between the tributes of the districts. In District 1 and 2, Marvel, Glimmer, Cato, and Clove were gunning to get Katniss killed. At the beginning, they took Peeta in and was using him to find Katniss. Peeta announced during his interview that he was very much in love with Katniss ever since the day he first saw her at his family's bakery. Throughout the movie, District 1 and 2 tried to kill Katniss multiple times, but each time they obviously failed. The symbolism in this movie, the first one is Girl on Fire. In the parade before the games, Katniss in Peeta's uniform was like a black bodysuit, and it was on fire while they were going. And then during Katniss's interview, she had a long red dress on, and when she spun around, the bottom caught on fire. And so ever since then, she'd been known as the Girl on Fire. Another symbolism in this is the rebellion against the Capitol. This is showing that throughout the movie, they realized that the Capitol had been treating them very poorly, and they needed a change about it. In the second movie, they actually ended the games before it was supposed to end, and there were 5 or 6 survivors instead of just 1. And Katniss was set out to be the underdog, being a female first off. Most of the time the males won. And also from being from District 12, which was the poorest of the districts, so everyone expects District 12 to die very quickly because they do not have the resources to train for the games like District 1 and 2 do. The relationship to culture is killing other people, let alone teens, who should have a lot longer of a life ahead of them, which is very bad in our society. Like, you obviously aren't supposed to kill people, but in the Hunger Games, that's okay, and no one gets in trouble for it. And then they have to hunt for all their food. At least that's how it is in District 12, but it doesn't show any other districts. They have to hunt and plant all their food, and they sell it basically like how it was in like the 1900s. The media in this is mainly the Capitol controls all of it, so they can choose what everyone wants to see, and they video the games and everyone watches them and celebrates, which is it just feels off because there's people celebrating whenever a teenager dies, which should not be celebrated. And then the health of the people, only the richer districts with more money were able to have like immediate health because they had the money to afford it. And the like buildings and everything in the poor districts was very poorly taken care of because the Capitol didn't focus on them since they were like poor and they didn't have that much money. And then some of the problems and resolutions in this were when Prim's name got pulled for the games, Katniss volunteered to take her place because she didn't want her younger sister getting killed, and she knew that Prim would not be able to survive. Prim had no experience, but Katniss being able to shoot a bow and arrow, and she was always hunting for her family, she had a better chance of survival, so that's how they solved that. And then near the beginning of the games, the District 1 and 2 tributes found Katniss, and they were chasing after her, and she climbed up into a really big tree and was hiding up there, but they were going to wait her out until she came down, because obviously she had to come down at some point. But then there was a huge beehive of Tracker Jackers, and she sawed off the branch, and the hive dropped, and when you get stung by Tracker Jackers a bunch, you die. And she ended up killing one of them, which was Glimmer, and then the other 3 ran off, so she was able to get out of the tree and survive. And then, since Peeta was in love with Katniss, they both wanted to survive, but only one was supposed to survive. And so the way that was solved is President Snow came over the announcements and said that 2 people can win as long as they're both from the same district. And since Katniss and Peeta were both from District 12 and they were both alive, they had a chance to survive. But then, once they killed off the last tribute, which was Cato, in the finals, President Snow went over the announcements and said that that rule had changed and only one victor was allowed to survive. So they both decided that they were going to die together. But then President Snow came back over and announced both of them as winners.